The Watchers Above. The massive Meridian surveillance vessel hung in geosynchronous orbit above Earth, its crystalline hull refracting sunlight into rainbow patterns across the upper atmosphere. High Commander Vextal stood at the observation deck, his segmented eyes studying the blue planet below with practiced disdain. Another cycle, another waste of resources, he muttered to his second-in-command. These primitives still fight among themselves, pollute their atmosphere, and barely manage rudimentary spaceflight. Mark it as continued observation status. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known as Echo Base, Commander Elena Santos watched the real-time feed of the Meridian vessel with a slight smile. The quantum observation array that allowed her team to monitor any ship in orbit had been active for decades, one of many technologies humanity had developed in absolute secrecy. "They still haven't detected our quantum shielding," she commented to Dr. Marcus Chen, her chief of research and development. The massive underground complex hummed with activity as thousands of personnel worked on humanity's true space program, hidden from both their alien watchers and most of Earth's population. Marcus nodded, adjusting the holographic display showing Echo Base's crown jewel, the prototype quantum stealth destroyer Nightshade. The Meridians are so convinced of their technological superiority that they never consider someone might have surpassed them. "Our quantum drive tests are exceeding all expectations." The Nightshade represented humanity's response to decades of alien surveillance and interference. While the Meridian Empire classified Earth as a primitive reservation, humanity had been quietly preparing. Echo Base wasn't just a hidden facility. It was the heart of a vast network of underground shipyards and research centers, all working toward one goal: protecting Earth and other worlds from Meridian expansion. Elena moved through the facility's quantum engineering section, where teams worked on technology that would seem like magic to their alien observers. But it wasn't magic. It was the product of human ingenuity and determination, enhanced by the unique advantage of being perpetually underestimated. "Status report on the quantum fleet," she asked, approaching a massive holographic tactical display. 15 destroyers complete, 5 carriers under final construction," Marcus replied. "The neural interface systems are fully operational, giving our pilots reaction times that would make a Meridian's head spin. The quantum computers are online, and the AI support networks are running at peak efficiency." A priority alert flashed across the main screen. Elena's expression hardened as she read the decoded Meridian transmission. "They're mobilizing for a major operation. The Centauri Alliance has refused their demands for protection status." The Centauri were one of the few species that had maintained independence from the Meridian Empire. If they fell, it would remove one of the last obstacles to complete Meridian domination of the sector. "Contact the Defense Council," Elena ordered. "It's time to make a decision. If the Meridians move against the Centauri, we may need to reveal ourselves sooner than planned." As the massive surveillance vessel above began its departure sequence, Elena walked to her private office. On her desk sat a small hologram of Earth as seen from space, a reminder of everything they were fighting to protect. They had hidden their true capabilities for generations, building in secret while the Meridians dismissed them as primitive savages. The quantum comm system chimed. The Defense Council was assembling. Soon they would decide whether humanity would maintain its charade of technological backwardness or finally reveal the full extent of their capabilities to a galaxy that had dismissed them for so long. Elena straightened her uniform and headed for the briefing room. Whatever they decided, one thing was certain. The Meridian Empire was about to learn that they should have paid much closer attention to the supposedly primitive species they'd locked away in their reservation. The game of hide-and-seek was coming to an end, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy that they'd been holding the winning hand all along. Operation Quantum Shield. The Defense Council's decision was unanimous. After 3 generations of secret development, Operation Quantum Shield would begin. Humanity would no longer hide in the shadows while the Meridian Empire threatened peaceful civilizations. Deep in Echo Base's quantum engineering lab, Marcus Chen made final adjustments to the neural interface system that would give human pilots unprecedented control over their vessels. The technology was elegant in its simplicity, a direct bridge between human consciousness and quantum computing cores, allowing reaction times that defied conventional physics. Neural sync test commencing, announced Lieutenant Sarah Patel, one of the first pilots chosen for the quantum fleet. She sat in a simulation pod, hair laced with interface nodes that glowed with soft blue light. The neural connection activated, and her consciousness expanded to encompass the virtual ship around her. Neural patterns stable, Marcus reported, studying the quantum readouts. How does it feel? Sarah's eyes opened, glowing with the same blue light as the interface nodes. It's incredible. The ship feels like an extension of my body. Every system, every sensor, I can feel all of it. Elena watched from the observation deck, remembering her own first neural sync experience. The technology had come a long way since those early prototypes. Now, instead of simply piloting ships, their crews could become one with them, achieving levels of coordination and combat effectiveness that the Meridians couldn't imagine. Begin combat simulation, Elena ordered. The holographic environment around Sarah's pod transformed into deep space. Multiple Meridian warships appeared, their designs copied from years of careful observation. Sarah's reaction was instantaneous. Her virtual quantum destroyer moved with impossible grace, sliding between enemy formations while quantum torpedoes struck with perfect precision. The neural interface allowed her to process combat data and make tactical decisions at the speed of thought. Simulation complete, Marcus announced after 10 minutes. All enemy vessels neutralized. 0 damage taken. And that was just one ship, Elena noted with satisfaction. Imagine what an entire fleet of neural-linked vessels can do. The facility's quantum alert system suddenly flared to life. New Meridian communications had been intercepted. The invasion of Centauri space would begin within days. Elena immediately called an emergency briefing of all fleet commanders. In the massive underground hangar that housed humanity's secret ships, hundreds of officers gathered. Above them loomed the sleek forms of quantum destroyers and carriers, their black hulls seeming to drink in the light. The Meridians planned to launch their attack in 3 days, Elena announced to the assembled commanders. They've assembled over 200 warships for the initial assault. The Centauri are strong, but they can't withstand that kind of firepower alone. She activated a holographic tactical display showing the planned Meridian invasion routes. This is what we've prepared for. Every ship in this room represents decades of human ingenuity and sacrifice. Every crew member carries the hopes of not just Earth, but countless worlds that suffer under Meridian oppression. Marcus stepped forward, pulling up technical data on their quantum systems. Your neural interfaces have been fully calibrated. The quantum drives are operating at peak efficiency. Every vessel is equipped with our latest developments in stealth and weapons technology. Remember your training, Elena continued. The Meridians expect to face conventional opposition. They have no concept of quantum warfare or neural-linked combat systems. Use that advantage. Strike fast, strike hard, and show them that humanity is no longer content to watch from the sidelines. Throughout the briefing chamber, officers absorbed the tactical data through their neural interfaces, minds working in perfect synchronization with the quantum computers. Earth's hidden fleet would deploy in waves, first to evacuate vulnerable Centauri colonies, then to engage the Meridian invasion force directly. As the commanders dispersed to their ships, Elena felt the weight of history on her shoulders. For generations, humanity had maintained the illusion of primitive development, all while preparing for this moment. The Meridian Empire was about to learn that their greatest mistake had been dismissing Earth as unworthy of attention. In the quantum shipyards beneath the Atlantic, final preparations began. Engineers made last-minute adjustments to weapon systems, while neural interface technicians ran diagnostics on crew synchronization levels. The massive carriers hummed with power as quantum cores spun up to full capacity. Sarah Patel stood in her destroyer's neural integration chamber, running pre-launch checks with her crew. Through the neural link, she could feel their shared determination, their readiness to reveal humanity's true strength to the galaxy. All ships report ready, Marcus announced over the quantum comm. Neural networks are stable. Quantum drives are charged. Elena took her place in the fleet command center, neural interface connecting her consciousness to the tactical network that would coordinate their forces. Operation Quantum Shield is now active, she declared. Humanity steps out of the shadows in 3 days. Make every hour count. Throughout Echo Base and similar facilities around the world, humanity's secret fleet prepared for war. Soon, the galaxy would learn that Earth had never been primitive. They had simply been patient. The storm breaks. The Centauri Defense Fleet hung in high orbit above their homeworld, a thin line of ships against the approaching Meridian Armada. Through quantum surveillance feeds, Elena watched as over 200 Meridian warships emerged from hyperspace, their crystalline hulls gleaming with deadly purpose. Meridian Fleet is deploying in attack formation, Marcus reported, his neural interface streaming tactical data directly to the command center. They're launching their first wave of fighters. Elena stood before the tactical display. Her consciousness merged with the quantum network that connected Earth's hidden fleet. Scattered throughout the Centauri system, cloaked by quantum drives, 90 human vessels waited for her command. All ships maintain quantum silence, she ordered through the neural link. Let them commit to their attack run. Through the quantum feeds, they watched as Meridian vessels began their bombardment of Centauri defensive positions. High Commander Vextal's voice echoed through intercepted communications. The Centauri have refused Imperial protection for the last time. Reduce their orbital defenses to debris. Elena's eyes narrowed. Initiate Operation Quantum Shield. All ships, drop cloak on my mark. Sarah Patel sat in her destroyer's neural chamber, feeling the ship's systems as extensions of her own body. Around her, her crew's consciousness flowed through the neural network, working in perfect synchronization. 3, 2, 1, mark. Across the Centauri system, space itself seemed to ripple as Earth's quantum fleet materialized. The Nightshade, Sarah's destroyer, appeared directly behind a Meridian heavy cruiser, its quantum weapons already charged. The Meridian response was immediate but confused. Their sensors, designed to detect conventional energy signatures, struggled to lock onto vessels that seemed to phase in and out of normal spacetime. All ships, weapons free, Elena commanded. Show them what humanity can do. The Nightshade's quantum torpedoes struck first, passing through the Meridian cruiser's shields as if they didn't exist. The exotic particles sheared through crystalline hull plating at the quantum level, leaving the massive vessel dead in space. Across the battlefield, Earth's fleet demonstrated the full power of their hidden technology. Neural-linked crews reacted with impossible speed and precision, their ships moving in ways that defied conventional physics. Quantum weapons bypassed Meridian defenses, while quantum drives allowed human vessels to appear and disappear at will. They're trying to coordinate a counterattack, Marcus reported, monitoring enemy communications. Their command and control is in chaos. They'd never seen anything like our quantum systems. Through her neural interface, Elena felt the battle flow like a complex dance. Human ships moved in perfect coordination, each crew connected through the quantum network, acting with a unity that the Meridians couldn't match. High Commander Vextal's flagship launched a desperate barrage of energy weapons. What is this? His voice crackled through intercepted channels. Where did these ships come from? Their technology. Impossible. Sarah's destroyer slid through the chaos like a phantom, quantum weapons striking with surgical precision. Through her neural link, she felt her crew's shared exhilaration as another Meridian vessel fell to their attack. Multiple Meridian ships attempting emergency jumps, Marcus announced. Their formation is breaking apart. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Priority target the flagship. Let's introduce ourselves properly to High Commander Vextal. 3 quantum destroyers, including Sarah's Nightshade, converged on the Meridian flagship. Their coordinated attack overwhelmed its defenses in seconds. As the massive vessel's engines died, Elena opened a channel to its command deck. "Hi, Commander Vextal," she transmitted, her voice calm. "This is Commander Elena Santos of Earth's Quantum Defense Force. Perhaps you'd like to revise your assessment of our primitive status." The silence that followed was broken only by the sound of secondary explosions throughout the Meridian fleet. Nearly half their ships had been disabled or destroyed, while Earth's quantum fleet remained virtually untouched. This is impossible," Vextal finally responded. "Earth is a protected reservation. You're savages. You can't have this level of technology. We learned long ago that the best place to develop is in the shadows," Elena replied. "While you watched our surface and saw what you expected to see, we built something you couldn't imagine. Your empire is finished, High Commander. The era of Meridian dominance ends today." As if to emphasize her words, another wave of quantum destroyers emerged from cloak near the system's edge, cutting off the Meridian retreat routes. The remaining Imperial ships, faced with technology they couldn't understand or counter, began signaling their surrender. In the aftermath of the battle, Elena stood in Echo Base's command center, watching as human ships secured the Centauri system. The quantum network hummed with activity as damage reports and tactical updates flowed through neural interfaces. "Message from the Centauri High Council," Marcus reported. "They're requesting an alliance. It seems our entrance onto the galactic stage has made quite an impression." Elena nodded. This was only the beginning. Across the galaxy, other species would soon learn that humanity had emerged from its enforced isolation. The Meridian Empire's greatest mistake had been giving them time. Time to develop, time to prepare, time to perfect technologies that would reshape the balance of power. "Send word to all ships," she ordered. "Phase 1 of Operation Quantum Shield is complete. Prepare for Phase 2. The liberation of all Meridian-controlled worlds begins now." Shockwaves. News of Earth's victory in the Centauri system spread through the galaxy like a quantum shockwave. In the Meridian Imperial Palace on Meridius Prime, the High Council gathered in emergency session, their crystalline chamber filled with holographic displays showing the devastating defeat of their fleet. "Impossible." Supreme Counselor Zexra slammed his segmented fist on the crystal table. "How could they have developed such technology without our knowledge? We've watched them for centuries." In Echo Base, Elena and her command staff monitored the chaos spreading through the Meridian Empire. Through their quantum surveillance network, they watched as subject worlds began questioning Imperial authority, inspired by humanity's successful resistance. "Multiple systems are reporting civil unrest," Marcus reported, neural interface streaming real-time data. "The Meridians' carefully constructed image of technological superiority is crumbling. Their control was built on fear and the belief that resistance was futile." Sarah Patel's destroyer, the Nightshade, led a battle group deep into Meridian space. Their mission: to liberate the Arcturus system, home to a species that had suffered under Imperial rule for generations. Quantum signatures detecting heavy Meridian presence in the system, Sarah reported through the neural network. "They've reinforced the garrison here, expecting our attack." Elena studied the tactical overlay. The Meridians had learned from their defeat at Centauri, adapting their tactics. But they still didn't understand the full capabilities of Earth's quantum technology. "All ships, initiate Protocol Omega," she commanded. The neural network hummed with shared purpose as the battle group executed their new strategy. The Meridian defenders watched in confusion as hundreds of human warships seemed to appear in their sensor networks. Each quantum vessel projected multiple phantom signatures, creating the illusion of an overwhelming force. "They're dividing their fleet to engage all targets," Marcus noted with satisfaction. "They still can't distinguish our real ships from the quantum projections." Sarah's destroyer struck from the confusion, its quantum weapons tearing through Meridian defenses. Other human vessels followed, their neural-linked crews moving with impossible coordination. Within hours, the Arcturus system was free for the first time in centuries. But the true power of humanity's emergence wasn't just military. As news of Earth's hidden advancement spread, other species began sharing their own secrets. Technologies and discoveries hidden from Meridian oversight emerged, revealing that humanity wasn't alone in their quiet rebellion. Transmission from the Delphian Enclave, Marcus announced during a command briefing. They've maintained a hidden research facility in their system's asteroid belt. They're offering to share advancement in biotech that could complement our quantum systems. Elena smiled. The Meridian's oppression had inadvertently created a network of species who had learned to develop in secret. Now that humanity had shown it was possible to resist, ancient bonds of fear were breaking. In orbit above Arcturus Prime, Sarah stood on her destroyer's observation deck, watching as freed citizens celebrated in the streets below. Through her neural interface, she felt her crew's shared sense of purpose and pride. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Her tactical officer suddenly announced. Massive Meridian fleet emerging from hyperspace. The Empire had committed its reserve forces, over 500 warships carrying prototype weapons designed to counter quantum technology. The final battle for the galaxy's future was about to begin. All Earth forces, battle stations. Elena's voice echoed through the neural network. The Meridians think they've developed countermeasures for our quantum systems. Let's show them how much they still don't know. Human vessels moved into formation, their crews linked in perfect neural synchronization. The quantum drives hummed with power as new protocols, ones that even the Meridian's best analysts couldn't have predicted, came online. They're not just fighting for Earth anymore, Marcus observed, watching the tactical displays. Every ship in our fleet carries crew members from liberated worlds. We've given the galaxy something it hasn't had in centuries: hope. The massive Meridian Armada launched its attack, confident in their superior numbers and new anti-quantum weapons. But humanity had one final surprise, a technology so advanced that they had kept it hidden even during their initial reveal. Initiate quantum resonance protocol, Elena commanded. Through the neural network, every human ship and crew member felt the change as their quantum drives synchronized on a level that transcended normal spacetime. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries as the moment when the galaxy's balance of power shifted forever. Earth's fleet moved as one organism, their quantum-linked vessels phasing through space in ways that defied physics itself. In the Meridian Imperial Palace, Supreme Counselor Zexra watched in horror as battle reports showed their finest fleet being systematically dismantled by forces they still couldn't fully comprehend. Perhaps, he whispered to his assembled council, we should have paid more attention to those primitives we locked away in their reservation. A new dawn. The final battle for the galaxy's future unfolded across the Arcturus system in ways that defied conventional physics. Through the quantum neural network, Elena felt the coordinated actions of every ship and crew member as they executed the quantum resonance protocol. Their vessels moved in perfect harmony, existing in multiple states simultaneously, making them virtually untouchable to Meridian weapons. The quantum field is stable, Marcus reported. His consciousness merged with the fleet's tactical network. All ships are maintaining synchronization. The Meridians can't lock onto our actual positions. Sarah's destroyer led the vanguard, its quantum-phased weapons striking through the supposedly impenetrable shields of Meridian capital ships. The advanced anti-quantum countermeasures the Empire had developed proved useless against technology that operated on principles they couldn't comprehend. Multiple Meridian vessels signaling surrender, Sarah reported through the neural link. Their fleet cohesion is breaking down. They're beginning to realize they can't win this fight. The massive Imperial flagship hung at the center of the Meridian formation, its crystalline hull scarred by quantum weapon impacts. Through intercepted communications, Elena heard the panic in Supreme Counselor Zexra's voice as he ordered his forces to maintain position. This ends now, Elena declared, opening a channel to the entire Meridian fleet. Your empire was built on the assumption of superiority, on the belief that you alone could master the galaxy's highest technologies. That assumption ends today. As if to emphasize her words, a new wave of ships emerged from quantum space. Vessels from the Delphians, the Arcturians, and a dozen other species that had developed in secret under Meridian oppression. Each had adapted humanity's quantum innovations to their own unique technologies, creating a force that represented the true diversity and potential of galactic civilization. Impossible. Zexra's voice cracked over the comm. How many other species have been hiding their true capabilities? What else have we failed to see? That was your greatest mistake, Alina replied. You were so convinced of your own superiority that you never considered others might surpass you. Every world you dismissed as primitive, every species you relegated to protected status, they were all watching, learning, and preparing for this day. Through the quantum network, humanity shared their advanced technology with their new allies. Neural interfaces adapted to different physiologies, allowing crews of multiple species to work in perfect synchronization. The combined fleet moved as one, their quantum drives harmonizing in ways that created patterns visible from light years away. A demonstration of unity that would be remembered for generations. Supreme Counselor, Zexra's flagship, finally lowered its shields. We surrender, he announced, his voice heavy with the weight of history. The Meridian Empire submits to the combined forces of the free worlds. In the aftermath of the battle, representatives from every liberated world gathered in the Grand Assembly Hall of Echo Base. Alina stood before them, no longer just humanity's defender, but a symbol of a new era in galactic history. The age of empire is over, she declared to the assembled delegates. But we're not here to replace one form of dominion with another. Today we establish the Galactic Concordat, an alliance of equals, where every species is free to develop and share their innovations without fear or suppression. Marcus presented the technical specifications for Earth's quantum technology to the Assembly. Every member world will have access to these advancements, he explained. But more importantly, we'll create joint research initiatives, combining the unique perspectives and innovations of all our species. Sarah, now recognized as one of the heroes of the Liberation Campaign, watched from her position among the fleet commanders as former enemies became allies. Through her neural interface, she felt the shared hope and determination of crews from a dozen worlds, all linked in the quantum network that had become a symbol of their unity. The Meridian Empire's surrender marked more than just the end of a conflict. It represented a fundamental shift in how species viewed each other. The myth of any one civilization's inherent superiority had been shattered, replaced by an understanding that true advancement came through cooperation and mutual respect. 1 year later, the Lina stood in the newly constructed Concordat headquarters on neutral territory, watching ships from hundreds of worlds move through the quantum lanes that now connected the galaxy. The neural network had evolved into an interspecies communication system, allowing civilizations to share knowledge and culture with unprecedented depth and understanding. Message from the exploration fleet, Marcus announced, his neural interface displaying data from the far reaches of known space. They've made contact with new civilizations beyond the old imperial borders, species that have developed in complete isolation from Meridian influence. Helena smiled, remembering how humanity had once been dismissed as primitive, how they had turned that dismissal into their greatest advantage. Send them our standard greeting, she ordered. Let them know they're welcome to join a galaxy where no species needs to hide their potential, where advancement comes not through dominion, but through unity. The quantum network hummed with the combined consciousness of 1,000 worlds, each contributing their unique perspective to a future that none of them could have achieved alone. Humanity had emerged from the shadows not just to free themselves, but to help create something greater. A galaxy where the true measure of civilization was not its power to dominate, but its capacity to elevate all species to their highest potential. In the end, the Meridians' greatest gift to the galaxy had been their arrogance. By dismissing so many species as primitive, they had created the perfect conditions for innovation and advancement. The very powers they had tried to suppress had united to forge a future beyond anything they could have imagined. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, other civilizations were watching, learning, and preparing to join a galaxy that had finally learned to look beyond the surface, to see the true potential in every species, no matter how primitive they might appear. The end.